Willow and Ash. So today I thought I would read you the rest of Beowulf, which is the story that Mrs. Searle was reading you. If you haven't seen the beginning of the story, I suggest you go and watch Mrs. Searle's video so that you can get up to speed as to where we are. So, Chapter 6, A New Terror. Beowulf, come quickly! Beowulf woke from a deep sleep, startled by King Hrothgar's cry. He was so tired from his fight with Grendel that he had left Heriot to sleep in a nearby barn. But now he was wide awake. "What is it?" he asked. The king's face was pale. His hand shook as he pointed to Heriot. "Another monster," he gasped. "It has killed Lefric." Beowulf raced to Heriot. The hall was dripping with blood and slime. "But Grendel's dead," Beowulf muttered. "It wasn't Grendel," one of the Danes told him. "It was his mother." "We're doomed," said King Hrothgar. "Grendel's mother is pure evil. She lurks at the bottom of the lake of demons in the darkest part of my kingdom." Beowulf's lips set into a grim line. He slid on his helmet as Wiglaf handed him his sword. "Then that is where I will kill her," he said. Chapter 7, The Lake of Dreams. The Geats sharpened their swords. The Danes gathered their spears. They marched together behind Beowulf, following the monster's tracks to the Lake of Demons. The Geats had never seen such a ghastly place. The surface swirled with a ghostly fog. The water was thick with slime. It was a vile lake. Beowulf grasped his sword and glared into the dreadful depths. King Hrothgar followed his gaze into the murky water. "It's so dark down there, Beowulf," he whispered. You don't have to go." Beowulf just smiled. "That darkness you see is the monster," he said. "I am the light." And he dived into the lake. Beowulf swam down, deeper and deeper. The water grew thick with slime, blocking the light from above. Beowulf kept swimming. Just as the last ray of light disappeared, something grabbed him. A long tentacle wrapped around Beowulf's waist, dragging him even deeper. Beowulf rose in a vast underwater cave, gasping for breath. Stalactites hung from the ceiling. Skulls of giants lay scattered on the rocks. A gurgling groan echoed across the cave. Grendel's mother rose from the foul water. The monster's eyes shone with hatred. Her slimy tentacles were tipped with sharp talons. "You are the warrior that slew my son," she drawled. Beowulf tore himself free from the monster's grip. "Yes, I killed Grendel," he declared, "and now I shall kill you." Beowulf went into attack, but his legs felt suddenly heavy. His sword clattered to the rocks and his head began to spin. The monster had him gripped in a dark spell. Grendel's mother slithered closer. Beams of pure blackness shot from her eyes. "I am pure evil," she hissed. "My eyes are pure fear. No man can break free from their spell." Summoning the last of his strength, Beowulf hurled himself across the rocks and snatched up his sword. "I am not like all men," he roared. "I am Beowulf, and I do not fear you." The monster swung her claws. Beowulf whirled his shield. Far above, the Geats and Danes waited in worried silence. Beowulf had been gone far too long. King Hrothgar feared that he was dead. Just then, the water bubbled and frothed. The warriors staggered back in fright as the head of Grendel's mother rose from the lake. A second later, Beowulf appeared, gripping the head in his hand. He held up the trophy, smiling at the king. "You do not need to be scared anymore," he cried. The monster is dead. Beowulf marched with the warriors back to Heriot. The men cheered and joked as dawn blazed across the sky. The great hall never looked more beautiful than ever, its golden roof sparkling in the sun. Chapter 8. King Beowulf. Beowulf returned to the land of the Geats, where he ruled for 50 years. He led warriors in battles against fierce beasts and savage monsters. All of his enemies feared him. Beowulf, the killer of Grendel. Beowulf grew old and tired of fighting. He dreamed of peace, but there was one last monster left to fight. Across Beowulf's kingdom, villagers lived in terrible fear of a dragon. At night, the beast swooped over their roofs. Fire roared from its mouth. Houses burned. People ran screaming in the streets. Beowulf rode to a village near the dragon's lair, where he gathered his warriors in a huge stone hall. "What can we do?" asked one. "Fight back," replied another. Beowulf sat in silence, gazing around the hall. It reminded him of Heriot all those years ago. Finally he rose, and the Geats fell silent. "I will fight this dragon alone," Beowulf declared. The Geats looked confused. Only Beowulf's cousin Wiglaf dared to speak. "Beowulf,"